We all are eager to listen to our Director Sir's valuable insights and inputs, so without wasting a single minute, firstly I would like to request Mr. Saurabh Sharma Sir to kindly come forward and give valuable inputs and insights to our students who are aspiring to be the future leader. Please welcome Sir.
Good afternoon, students. I feel very happy addressing you today over here. First of all, I welcome you to Asian School of Business. I think the third day of the orientation, the final leg. Last 2 years we've been doing this virtually, but then I shared it with the ALC students as well that seeing you sitting in front today is another feeling altogether, because no matter how much technological advancement has happened, but then what you college life or the college phase. If schooling was your foundation, I think this phase marks the building blocks or the walls of the educational structure of your life. Students, I know that last 2 years have not been easy for anybody, and I feel that it's been little more tougher for you because others had to face just one particular hardship, which was the pandemic. But then I feel you had to face 3 different hardships. One being the pandemic, for sure. I think sitting here, all of you are winners because you've seen the storm. But the second hardship, which I feel was really tough on you, was the fact that whether the board results would happen, exams would happen, how would they happen, whether it will be offline, online, or what will be the marking pattern. I think the stress and anxiety which you people had to go through, you are a special batch because before you it has never happened ever. And I can really imagine and relate to you that how do you keep yourself abreast with that particular phase of keeping things in mind, because you may have to write an exam, or whether should I choose for a marking pattern which the government or the body is allowing us to, or should I give the exam. So lot many things happening, but I feel that challenging phase is over, and you have come out as winners out of that particular phase. Also, the third thing which I feel you people have, I won't say suffered, but then gone through is that schooling starts on a little tough note. When you join as toddlers, you don't know what school is all about, and probably the initial years you want to sleep a little late, but school starts at 7:30, you have to wear a dress code and things like that. But eventually I feel the last 2 years of your schooling, which is class 11th and class 12th, are the 2 years which are most memorable. Why? Because I think your faculty members start to become your friends. You become house captains, prefects. I think you have the entire school as juniors to you. So there's a different set of treatment being given to you by everybody in school. I know that you missed that phase because you were there on your laptops or you're on your phones. And yeah, I know many of the students in my family who were there in class 11th or class 12 also shared the same thing with me. So I can totally understand that is something which you also must be feeling that you missed. But to compensate and to speak on a positive aspect, covering that point, I would say is that we at Asian School of Business would treat you as a special lot. Because we know that you have been through this 2-year phase. We would go that extra mile to ensure that be it your physical classes, which you have missed over the last 2 years in school, be it your events, be it sports, be it competitions, be it extracurriculars, we will go the extra mile with you. We will ensure that whatever you missed in school for the last 2 years, you get in leaps and bounds at Asian School of Business. So that will be one extra edge which for sure we'll be giving you. And I'm a positive person. I think you all should be looking at the positive side. There's no point thinking that, oh, my school life, my last 2 years of school got spoiled because of this particular pandemic. I think you should look at the brighter side, that you are here sitting, passing out already from your schools and entering a new phase. The next important thing which I feel like sharing with you is a myth or a mistake which generally students make or have in their mind, which probably is inculcated by some seniors, or there's a notion prevalent in the society, or something or the other. That myth is that graduation is not that important because ideally it is post-graduation. It is not about BBA, BCA or BCom, it is more about MBA and MCA. I will get a job or a salary or a rewarding career after my post-graduation, but graduation is going to do nothing as far as my future is concerned. That is a myth. That is a mistake. Let me tell you very honestly. Because every step is crucial. It is just like, if I relate it to an example, if a tree is to be cut with an axe, it looks as if the tree fell with the final blow of the axe, but all the previous strokes of the axe were also equally crucial. Same way, you have been there in your schools for 12 to 14 years. Though you sit down for your board exams in class 12th, but you start learning tables in the younger age. You start writing alphabets in the younger age. So every step is a build-up to the final outcome or the final goal. So don't fall to that myth that probably I can be casual in my graduation years, because yes, there'll be a certain level of freedom which you'll be getting. You're now into the college life. It was schooling and they say you should enjoy your college life, which I also say that you should. But there's a difference between enjoying college life and being completely casual about it. You have to ensure that this would lay the foundation of your successful career, be it a job, be it an entrepreneurship venture, or be it a startup. So do not fall into that trap of assuming that these 3 years I can have fun, be okay, be kind of casual, and last 2 years of my post-graduation would be the years when I would work hard. No, you cannot do that. Just like you cannot build your health or a physique in a certain span of time, it has to be a gradual effort across a period of time. Same way, you have to ensure that these 3 years you are utilizing to the fullest to get advantage for your ultimate goal. Another thing which I feel is that there are things in life which you look at and they give you certain lessons. Like there's a reptile which is called as turtle. You must have seen it. It has a huge shell at its top. And it's a saying that if the turtle is in the shell, obviously, they can even take their neck and face inside the shell. Nobody can harm them. They're free of any danger. But there's a very interesting fact. When the turtle has to move forward, it has to take its neck out. Without taking its neck out, it cannot move forward. Same way in life, it's a very relevant example in a way that you are supposed to move forward from schooling now to graduation, from graduation maybe higher studies, maybe in India, maybe abroad, whatnot, maybe then work, startup, future, job. Ultimately, if you are supposed to move forward in life, just like this example, which is a real example, you will have to come out of your shell. Otherwise, you cannot move forward. You have to come out of your comfort zone. Sitting here, okay, I have taken the step of joining a college. Now I'm there. Now my next 3 years are all set. After that, I'll see whether I'll give CAT or I'll go for higher studies abroad, or what will I do. Let's just be easy. That approach is not going to help you in the longer run. You have to plan, you have to structure and keep moving forward. That is going to be the key. And the second aspect is taking initiatives yourself first. When I say this, I mean that you're into a college now. Yes, you will be having your classes. Obviously, there will be in batches of 60, 70, whatnot, the exact number in the class. But then the point is that maybe you're not understanding something in the class. And maybe you're hesitant, or maybe you don't have that zeal to go to your faculty member after the class to understand. You expect somebody to identify looking at your face that you're not getting something. That is unrealistic. You will have to take initiative to approach your faculty members if there is something which you are lacking. Like maybe somebody is not very good with communication. Maybe somebody has that fear that if I ask them to come here right now to speak to you all 5 minutes, they'll be hesitant, they'll be nervous. Now eventually you want to overcome that fear, right? So to overcome that, you need to take initiative yourself first. Because in this huge bunch of 200 to 250 students, how do we know that what exactly you are missing at? You will be having your crafting prodigy programs or mirroring exercises in which the faculties will try to understand that where are you lacking. But you know it the best, that what are your good points and what are your weaknesses. And those weaknesses can only be overcome when you take up the initiative of going to the relevant faculty member or participating in that activity which has been scaring you. The one principle which I want to tell you today is that something which scares you, you should do more. And I'm not saying in a wrong sense. Scares in a way, maybe a stage fair, maybe something that, okay, how would I participate in a dance competition in the next 1 week if there is some event happening in the college, or something or the other. Whatever makes you feel a little worried or a little afraid, trust me, doing it more makes you overcome that fear. And that is what would create a personality out of you at the end of the day. Just like, say, suppose you all must be traveling, maybe some of you have the license to drive now, 18 plus and all. When you go on a highway, say, suppose if says your car tire got punctured or the car broke down, if you ask people to help you when you are standing, that please change the tire of my car, do you think they will help you? If they see you changing it and struggling with it, then they might want to help you. This is basic human nature. People only want to help those people, those who seek support or seek help. A teacher will help you and you will go to that teacher. You don't expect somebody to get that logic that, okay, this student is weak in this and I think I should call this student at 4:30 after the classes and get it sorted. No, it has to be your initiative first. I think that is the key. And for future, I would also give you a point that, see, don't think that if you are being made your class monitors or PRs or you've been given additional responsibility by faculty and staff members, that is going to be overburdening for you. That, okay, I'll just not take any responsibility. There are various clubs in Asian School of Business, a sports club, athletics club, you can say clubs related to convocations and other things as well. Like there are many activities, events we are into. HR club, marketing club, finance club. So we make students, those who are heading these clubs, student representatives. Now one bent is that, why should I do this? It'll be a problem for me. I'll have to take more responsibility. I'll have to work more hard. Second way is that, why not? If you take initiatives, if you are having more work, trust me, in life, you will be achieving more success. Why? There's again a very basic, simple example. Tell me one thing, that people throw stones on which trees? Which trees generally people throw stones at? Which have fruits, right? So the tree which is bearing fruits might feel that, okay, I'm also giving fruits to these human beings, but they're still throwing stones at us. But the other way to look at it is that which are the trees which people don't throw stones at? Which have no fruits. Those straight trees, right? No fruits, no nothing. Nothing useful given by them. And what happens to them? They are the first ones to be cut. So facing a stone is easier than getting cut. That is also a perspective. Same way, taking more initiative or making yourself available in every possible situation is an opportunity. The more tougher the challenge, that you are attending your classes, you are participating in extracurriculars, you're also, you can say, a student representative for certain clubs, and you're doing several other things as well, will make your presence felt over here. This is exactly what people are supposed to do when they work in organizations. The more responsibilities you take, the more chances are that you will be getting benefit out of it, because you would become indispensable. Don't take it as something which is a hard work for you or overburdening for you. No, it is an opportunity for you. Look at that from that particular perspective. So other thing which I want to lastly say is that you people are here with certain expectations. When I was thinking about what you would expect from the institution is that you would get a good learning environment to study in. You will get faculty members, those who are supportive, who are trying to understand what your concern is. A good healthy environment, you're getting activities to participate in, be it sports, be it externals, be it anything. So I today formally directly want to assure you that we plan to do that for you. We have been doing that for you, and as I committed today, we would do it more for you than all the previous batches because of what you skipped in the last 2 years. But there are certain set of expectations which we as the management also have from you. I want to tell those as well. Our expectation from you is that we assume that you're coming here to make a career. You're coming here to study and yes, have a good memorable 3-year journey with us as well. It's not that you're only studying. You're in the canteen as well, you're into sports as well, you're into other activities as well. But you are not doing anything which is letting your parents down, which is letting us down, or which is maybe letting you repent something for your entire life. There has never been such an incident, but yes, there have been incidents in the past wherein we had to take call of rusticating certain students because what they did was not something which they were meant to do over here. So I want to caution you as well that align yourself that what exactly you are here for. You are here to study, you are here to, yes, enjoy, but in a way which is not tampering with any of the norms of the organization. You are here to make a career. Faculties, all of us are there to support you, help you out. We are running this setup with the first primary agenda of creating your future. We feel blessed that people do business, we're into education. Because you all will venture out into so many different streams after 3 years. But this tag of Asian School of Business will always be there. It's like a permanent tattoo, invisible permanent tattoo on you. That whenever they'll be asking you which college, Asian School of Business. That's like a permanent identity you have created for yourself. You should have that pride and prestige attached to this particular institution. So for your parents, for the management, and for your own self, for your institution, you should not get into anything, because it's like a newborn baby. You don't know what eventually that person would become. Same way, entering this college for the first time, it could be an upward journey, wherein seen everywhere, participating in everything, highly engaging, working upon your weaknesses, or the other way around, sitting only in the canteen, doing wrongful things, getting a part of the discipline committee always, eventually chucked out, something or the other. So it's your mindset, how you take it ahead from here, right? So lastly, I would say that we want this to be the most memorable phase of your life, the next 3-year phase. Help us in making that for you. We three are there, though there are layers that if there is any issue or problem, you have your faculty members, class teachers, the dean, head of the student welfare department, Dr. Sanita. And even if you want to meet any one of us, you can always schedule that with your deans and have a meeting with us as well. We are available for all of you. I'm again telling you, I mean it, that our first priority is you and your career. So we are there. But it's like you have expectations, we also have expectations. You don't tamper with our expectations, and we don't tamper with your expectations. Right? With these words, I again welcome you to Asian School of Business. All the best. Welcome.